you guys here today to persuade you to be more aware of the accommodations or the lack of accommodations presented for the blinds in our city. Although many people are aware of the accommodations that are for sighted people, oftentimes the accommodations that are not made aware of for the unsighted people, we don't pay attention to. And oftentimes it makes it hard for the unsighted people or the blind people to operate properly or operate effectively in our city. One of the things that blind people first would like to make known is that they would like for us to be more aware of how we treat them, how we talk to them, or the things that we don't allow them to do. As far as them having a handicap, they want us to understand that they are not illiterate, just that they have a sight impairment. One other thing is that we need to have an expansion in our city, like New York. In some cities in New York, they make accommodations for blind people in regard to the signal lights that the signal lights are actually made to blink so that the people are notified when it's time for them to cross the street properly and at a safe position. And here in Cedar Hill, we don't have those accommodations made for the blind people. So therefore, it makes them operating in the city, it makes it a little harder for them. So they have to learn by trial and error. And sometimes that causes issues that are irreversible. Sometimes they get hurt. Different things happen. So we need to be more aware of certain situations like that. We take those kind of things for granted. Another thing that we need to be aware of is the public transportation. Again, somewhat of a safety issue, but the public transportation is something that we can just jump in our cars and go about where we need to go. But blind people, in that matter, they don't have a way to just jump in a car and go, especially with the lack of transportation here in Cedar Hill. They are relied, or they have to rely on family members, friends, or just other people. And sometimes that them having to rely on other people, it does not help. The accommodations are sometimes faulty, or they don't show up, and then they just can't get their things done. So that's another issue that we need to be aware of in our city that would help the blind. Another situation, which kind of stems from those ones that I just spoke of, is the safety issue. The safety issue for the blind people is a very big issue because blind people are often noted by the canes that they use when they walk around, which makes them targeted for robbery, for a number of public crimes and things of that nature. The lack of public transportation kind of coincides with that. And I believe that because we have those issues here in our city, and they go unnoticed by people that are sighted, I think that we need to raise the awareness of those issues to our public officials and to our government so that they'll be more apt to fund those type of programs for our city. That is the reason why I brought you to this forum today, to persuade you to be more aware of those issues so that we can do something about it and change those things so that they can operate in our city as easily as we do. Thank you for coming.